Maine State Representative Laurel Libby. Welcome to America Right Now. The fact that you were under siege for posting something on social media, pointing out the obvious, talk to us about what this has been like for you and how you found out that the Democratic Party and your colleagues were going to come after you for doing what you did.
Yeah, it's been quite the upheaval for the past few weeks since I made that initial post. There were rumors for about a week that I was potentially going to be censured over making this post, expressing free speech online. And sure enough, last Tuesday, around 5 p.m., I got called to the Speaker's office and found out that the plan was to move forward with a censure, meaning that I could not vote or speak on the floor on behalf of my constituents until I apologized for saying the truth online.
Your voting rights were stripped because you refused to apologize for pointing out that a trans track and field athlete had taken first place at a Maine girls pole vault competition after competing as a boy just 1 year earlier. And if you look at the photo, you see the massive difference between this young man, and he is a young man, and the girls that he was competing with. What was your reaction? Were you shocked by such a militant reaction to you just standing up for girls and women?
You know, I'm not shocked. Here in Maine, we have a Democrat majority that has been pretty militant in their goal to push this woke agenda that Mainers, by and large, don't want. Mainers don't believe that boys belong in girls' sports. But the Democrat majority that's ruling our state does. And they've made that really clear with how harshly they reacted in the aftermath to that post. It's not a stance that the vast majority of Mainers support, but that hasn't mattered to the Democrat majority in this case.
Your governor, Janet Mills, she had a pretty interesting exchange with President Trump at the White House over not your issue, but the issue of boys competing in girls' sports. Let's watch a little of that.
Called President Biden to inform him about this news. I've informed Senator King, Senator Collins.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Well, I'm here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports.
I'll see you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that.
All right, let's just reinforce this point. Does Janet Mills speak for most of the people in the state of Maine when it comes to this issue?
No, absolutely not. Janet Mills does not speak for the majority of Mainers, and particularly when it comes to the fact that at this point now we have federal funds that are on the line. So not only is this policy that Governor Mills and the legislative Democrats are sticking to harming Maine girls, right? It's ensuring that they don't have a fair, safe, and level playing field. It's also putting our students in the unfortunate position where we're going to be losing federal funds because of their insistence on sticking to this woke agenda of allowing boys to compete against girls in Maine when President Trump's been very clear. They will be withholding federal funds from states that do not comply.
Legislation aiming to bar boys from participating in school athletic competitions designed for female athletes failed to advance in the United States Senate this week. Every single Democrat voting in opposition. You know, you've had an opportunity now to kind of take a step back and to sort of assess all of this, and certainly this has come right to your front door. What are they afraid of? I mean, you're a woman legislator, you're a leader in your state. Why has this become a cult?
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting phenomenon here where it's such a small number of folks, right? 20% of folks believe that boys belong in girls' sports. It's such a minority, but they're such a vocal minority that I think folks are afraid at times to make waves. And I think that's why the post I made has resonated around the country and around the state, because we can't be afraid to speak the truth, because the majority of folks actually believe in our stance. They don't believe in this woke ideology that the left is pushing. And in fact, some on the left are starting to see the writing on the wall and going, if we want to stay in power, we're going to have to get in line. Look at Governor Newsom in California. He can see the writing on the wall. And that's where Governor Mills clearly and legislative Democrats in Maine can't. But you're right, it is this essentially woke religion that they're hanging on to by their fingertips now.
Yeah. Real quickly for me, your own constituency, how have they reacted? Real quick for me.
Absolute outpouring of support. Folks saying, hold the line, continue to speak up, don't back down and apologize. We support you. It's been incredible.
All right, come back and keep us updated, okay? State Representative for the state of Maine.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.